being on a tacky Christmas list is fun.
The website being called tacky, it's real clever.
We like it being called tacky. The more tacky, the better.
I am the queen of tacky Christmas lights in Fairfax County, or at least I think I am. I try to track all that is overdone in Fairfax County. Since 2007, I have run the FairfaxChristmasLights.com website, which is in fact a local resource to all of the extravagant lights in Fairfax County. I'm told sometimes not to use the word tacky, but for me it's a term of endearment that I absolutely love all of the lights and all of the displays that exist on the site. In less than a week's time, I had 1,500 visitors. And it was like, oh my gosh, people are using this, so I gotta keep it up to date. And it kind of evolved from there into now it truly is a local resource. I also on the site have some suggested routes, and these routes grew out of the routes that I would actually take to go look at lights. We're doing a tour of some of my favorite lights on the list. We're going to hit Centerville, Clifton, and Herndon tonight. Two of those houses are already on the list. The one in Herndon, though, is a new submission, so I'm very eager to see what the new house is all about. We've got a new one for the list. I think this will be number 43, and I think this one's pretty darn fantastic. Wow, look at the unique things that he's got in the yard. This is a very unique house in that they've got these little boxes in the yard with different activities going on in each one of them, moving characters. One has a train. They have beautiful multicolored lights and some twinkling icicle lights. It's absolutely gorgeous. It belongs on the Holly's Tacky Christmas Light list. When I moved here to Fairfax, I drove through this little neighborhood called Pimmit Hills, and I found that all the people over there decorated their houses, and that was the way I went to work. And so I kind of got, oh, well, look at this, and I found one particular house where the gentleman made all of the ornaments or all of the decorations himself. He, cut them out of wood and animated them and put them out in his yard, and every year he would add on.
Every scene and every ornament and everything in there is handmade. I make it, or my son has made a few things. Do you want to start here? The depiction of Mary and Joseph going into Bethlehem and baby Jesus being born. Yeah, we're looking at the nativity scene here in front of us. It starts from the right, Mary and Joseph walking into the manger scene. You have baby Jesus in the Star of Bethlehem appearing, and the angels on the right here descending down to the shepherds to say the Savior is born, and then they ascend back up into heaven, and the shepherds start walking in towards the manger from the right to the left. Then you have the overhead angels flying in, standing at the nativity, flapping the wings. We have the three kings walking in from the left to the right, dismounting and walking up to the stable. And at the end we have a flash joy to the world. It takes me 25 full days to set up the Christmas display every year. Well, the animation takes place actually with a scene. You build multiple scenes that have a one-on, one-off capability, and therefore as you look at the animation, it looks like there's a person actually performing, like the ski jumpers, an actual skier performing, when in fact all it is it's an illusion showing this one-on, one-off scene. It's built out of steel, solid steel, quarter-inch steel rods, and when we think of some scene to animate, I will draw up the patterns, and we make paper craft patterns of every character or scene that goes with it. And then we take and use the quarter-inch steel rods as the frame for that given scene. And we bend the rod to fit the pattern and then weld it all together. And then each scene has to have lights and light clips put on it to light it up. And once it's all put together in that fashion, then I take and build the controller to give every scene its animation. We're standing here in front of the penguins. The penguin's sliding down a glacier into a pool of water. Then you have a splash scene where he lands into the pool of water. And every third time as he comes down the glacier, he'll miss the pool, hit the ice, and skid into a snowbank and have an explosion of snow. And to supplement the whole scene, we have a penguin walking in from the left. He just walks in and dunks himself in the pool of water. Yeah, we put a lot of time into it, decorating the outside plus the indoors here. And sure, it's kind of time-consuming, but it's also repetitive. We've done it for many years, so when you start doing it, it's like, well, things just fall in place and they go in pretty quickly. Yeah, we built a website a year ago, and it's called ChristmasInClifton.com. Holly had her website built a few years back, and the people who came to see my display would write her emails or call her in some way and tell her she should come out here and see mine. So she did that a couple years back to come out, and I took her on a tour, and she listed me on her website. So I've been there ever since.
I actually get a lot of the homeowners themselves who, write me, and I think it's interesting. They always pretend that there's someone else recommending, and then soon as if they end up on the list, then they identify themselves as, oh, we're the owners. And so it's kind of funny that they would think that an owner referral wouldn't be good.
Search for tacky Christmas lights, and after a little while I found Holly's list. And originally I started out with just a couple of strings of lights, and that was my goal, was to get on Holly's list. So I love being on Holly's list. On Holly's site, as far as what I have, she gives different options when people want to describe it. One of them is classy, one of them is seen from outer space. I think mine gets the regurgitated Christmas rating. There's a little bit of everything.
In fact, a lot of these sites won't turn on rainy nights because they end up tripping everything and blowing the house every few minutes. So it's not worth it for them to put it on a rainy night.
A lot of people do stop by, and the neighbors, the local people do thank us for doing it every year.
I've met some wonderful people via the Christmas light list. I've come to know some of them quite well. I initially, when I started the list, didn't want to know anybody because I didn't want to be influenced.
I don't know how we got on the list.
Somebody referred you.
Oh, okay.
I got an email with your address saying, you got to see this.
I had a neighbor's family member stop and tell me, did you know you're on the internet? And I said no, and then we went and checked it out. And after that, I contacted Holly and invited her to the party, and That was a few years ago now.
This will be the 3rd year.
Yeah. Seems like 10.
I was actually quite taken back that somebody would want to invite me, a stranger, to their home for a holiday light-up party of their house.
My page is filled.
Like, he could only plug 2 strings into every 15 amp outlet. He was basically, we figured out it was like running a 60 amp service, like a heat pump, just on all night long.
I used to have to do a delicate balancing act. I actually unplug a snowman from this one and plug it into that one to keep it from tripping the breaker.
He would. Oh no, I plugged an iron in one time in here. Poof. It originally started off just family. Then we started expanding to friends. Now Santa makes a trip to visit us on Friday to help turn on the lights, and the kids all get to give Santa their wish list. And it's just a nice kickoff to the season.
Oh, look at this. Did you see this? You know, last year you were this big, and now you're this big? How did you grow so much in 1 year?
8.
So you've got everything numbered and organized so that you know just what you're hooking up and where.
I used to work at Green Spring Village down the road, and the transportation department there, I encouraged them to use Holly's List to put together a tour. So now they take the seniors every holiday season on a 2-hour bus tour through, and they use Holly's List to get them through to see the best lighting displays. Yeah, we've referred to our style as white trash or Queens.
It's their way of spreading Christmas joy. It's their gift to the community and to others, their light displays. And some of them, I'm sure, sit in windows and watch people coming and going. And I think they get a great deal of joy out of providing joy to others.
Santa.